Stephanie White, the formidable coach whose influence stretches far beyond the basketball court, recently sent shockwaves through the fan base with an announcement that involved none other than Kelsey Mitchel, one of the sharpest stars in the game. White, known for her direct approach and unwavering commitment to her team, doesn't mince words, and this revelation proved no different. The stadium buzzed with a kind of electricity that can only come when something monumental unfolds. And that day, Stephanie White made sure every ear was tuned in, every eye was wide, and every heartbeat was faster than usual. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Stephanie White is no stranger to big moments. Her career, both as a player and coach, has always had an edge of fierce determination and clarity. As a former WNBA standout, she was no shrinking violet on the court, showing a level of play that demanded attention. So when she transitioned to coaching, it was no surprise that her approach carried the same no-nonsense drive. She brought that relentless spirit into every practice, every strategy session, and especially into moments like this, moments that could change everything for her team and perhaps even alter the trajectory of a star like Kelsey Mitchel. Kelsey Mitchel has always been a lightning rod of talent and energy. From the moment she burst onto the scene, it was clear that she possessed a rare ability to make plays that left defenders spinning and fans leaping to their feet. Her journey through college was already filled with high-scoring games and eye-popping plays that seemed almost effortless. Yet even with all her talent, the one thing she valued most was the candid mentorship of someone like Stephanie White. White's announcement that day proved to be more than just words. It felt like a pivot point, the kind of statement that fans would recall for years. The room fell silent as White stood on the sidelines, her expression stern, eyes narrowing just slightly as if she were seeing a vision of the game only she could understand. She began to speak, each word carrying a weight that made the atmosphere crackle. Mitchell's face, usually bright with a mix of mischief and fierce determination, shifted as she listened closely. You could almost hear the gears turning in her mind as she processed what was unfolding. White's tone was straightforward, and there was no doubt that what she was saying would demand nothing less than Mitchell's absolute best. For the fans, it was like watching a scene from an epic sports movie, one where the underdog hears the truth that makes them dig deeper than they thought possible. The announcement was layered, full of implications that hinted at both immediate changes and longer-term strategies. White's eyes, sharp as ever, darted around the gym, catching the expressions of those on the sidelines and assessing reactions in real time. Mitchell stood motionless for a moment, then nodded, her usual confident smirk slipping back into place. She was game, no question about it. Stephanie White's announcement wasn't just about Mitchell. It was a statement to the entire team. It said that nothing was set in stone and that everyone, regardless of past achievements or name recognition, was going to be held to a higher standard. White had always been a coach who pushed boundaries, who didn't believe in coasting on wins or relying on old strategies. This bombshell wasn't a rebuke or a dismissal of Mitchell's skill, but a challenge, a call to step up and show that she could evolve and take on more. Kelsey Mitchel was never one to back down from a challenge. Her career so far had been marked by moments where she thrived under pressure. Whether it was hitting deep threes with defenders draped over her or slicing through defenses with a speed that left opponents gasping, Mitchell knew how to rise to the occasion. But this moment felt different, even to the fans who had followed her every step. The expectation wasn't just that she would perform, but that she would take her game to another level, shift her mindset, and be the player who could turn games on their head not just with talent, but with leadership and consistency. Fans didn't just react, they erupted. Social media lit up with comments, some with excitement, others with skepticism, and many with pure anticipation. The hashtags started trending, fans dissecting what White's words could mean for the next game, the next season, and for Mitchell's future. Memes popped up almost instantly, some playfully poking at Mitchell's ever-present game face, others imagining how she'd respond to the challenge. The arena, once filled with just the sound of basketballs thudding against hardwood and squeaking sneakers, now seemed charged with the noise of speculation and hope. Stephanie White's move was bold, but it was classic her. It was the type of coaching decision that said she believed in her players enough to demand more. It also sent a signal to the other teams in the league. This team wasn't just here to play, they were here to dominate. For Mitchell, the stakes were clear. She had always played with an edge, but now she would need to layer that with the vision White saw for her. No longer was it just about being the fastest or the flashiest. It was about being a catalyst, someone who could inspire and lift the entire team, even on the toughest nights. For many, White's declaration felt like a strategic turning point. Analysts started diving into what Mitchell's stats would look like if she adopted this new role that White had hinted at. Fans of the game, especially those with a keen eye, knew that Mitchell's explosiveness was only one part of her game. What she hadn't yet fully unlocked was how to sustain that energy, how to become the consistent threat who could pull her team up when the tide was against them. This was where Stephanie White's coaching prowess came into play. White didn't just see the player in front of her. She saw the player Mitchell could become. That's what made her coaching style so powerful. She had the ability to see potential and push it to the forefront. This announcement wasn't just about issuing orders. It was about seeing the fire in Mitchell and striking while it was hot. And Mitchell, standing there with a determined look in her eye, knew it too. She knew that this was her moment to prove that she wasn't just another talented player, but the kind of force that changes games and seasons. As White's words hum in the air, there was a sense that things wouldn't be the same again. The rest of the team looked at Mitchell, not just with respect, but with an expectation that she would meet this moment head-on. Mitchell, for her part, didn't look fazed. Instead, there was a flash of something in her eyes, a challenge accepted without a single word. The fans who had come to know her swagger knew that look. It was the look that said she was ready to put everything on the line. The implications of this shift extended beyond just the next game. If Mitchell stepped into the role White envisioned, it would change how opposing teams planned their defense and how the entire league viewed the squad. Mitchell, often seen as a scoring powerhouse, would need to showcase more patience, more playmaking, and an awareness that stretched beyond her immediate opponent. It wasn't just about piling up points. It was about knowing when to set the stage, when to step aside, and when to lead with everything she had. Stephanie White's gamble was that Kelsey Mitchel would take this call to action and turn it into fuel. And if there was one thing Mitchell had shown time and again, it was that she thrived when the stakes were high. She didn't just play for the highlight reel. She played for those moments that left fans wide-eyed and breathless. Now, it wasn't just about her own moments. It was about orchestrating them for her team. The crowd that day, both in the stands and online, understood they were witnessing a shift. The excitement wasn't just in what was said, but in the promise it carried. White's confidence was contagious and Mitchell's readiness was palpable. They both knew the journey wouldn't be easy. There would be games where things didn't click, where shots didn't fall, and the pressure would mount. But the foundation White laid that day was clear. They were building something bigger than one player or one game. What made this announcement resonate wasn't just the words, but the way White and Mitchell seemed to lock into an understanding. It was as if White's challenge was a key turning in a lock, unlocking a part of Mitchell the fans were eager to see. It was the type of moment that, when you looked back at a championship run, you could point to and say, that's where it started. For the rest of the league, it was a warning. For the fans, it was a thrill. Mitchell walked off the court that day, her usual playful strut replaced with a walk that had just a hint more purpose. White didn't need to say anything else. She knew the look on Mitchell's face, and so did everyone who watched her. It was a look that promised big things. The fans erupted once more, their excitement echoing long after the gym doors had closed. For Stephanie White, it was mission set. For Kelsey Mitchel, it was game on. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.